Battle of the Bands is a negotiating card game for 3 to 5 players and will take about 45 minutes to play. In the box, you'll find the rulebook, 5 player badges, 120 career cards in 4 suits: hype, chops, riffs and gear. $60 fan cards, 10 passion cards, and the Tour Grid t-shirt. To set up for play, lay the Tour Grid out flat and within everyone's reach. Shuffle the career cards and place them down on the right beside the Tour Grid. This is the career deck. Shuffle the fan cards and place them down on the left beside the Tour Grid. This is the fan deck. Each player picks a badge and is dealt 2 passion cards. The passion cards describe how you got into music. Whoever tells their backstory best goes first. Now you're ready to start. The player who wins the game is the first to get to 27 fans. Fan cards are worth between 1 to 4 fans. You get fan cards by going on tour with the career cards. A set of all 4 suits is needed to go on tour. Career cards are valued from 0 to 4. Higher value career cards are rarer and make better tours by earning you more spoils and getting more fans. The passion cards you start with count as a career card of any suit, so you can use them on tour in place of a hype, chops, riffs or gear card. On your turn, you can do one of 2 things. You can either stay home and practice, where you draw 1 card from the career deck and your turn is over. Or you can go on tour, where you become the tour manager. A tour has 5 phases. It's up to the tour manager to use their cards to assemble a tour. Tours are only valid if the row is complete and the card suits match the columns. Remember, if you don't have a card in a suit that you need, you can use your passion cards in their place. There are 4 levels of tour. The lowest level requires 1 card of each suit. The tour manager can decide to go on tour by completing levels by themselves, or invite other players to join the tour and contribute their cards. If 2 or more players are on tour, they may place their player badges on cards to reserve them. All other cards are discarded at the end of the tour. This means, if you go by yourself, you'll lose all the cards you've played onto the Tour Grid. Only 1 badge may be placed in each career suit column. The player badges will also decide in what order the players pick the spoils. This is a key part of the game. Players must negotiate which cards they bring and how many, in order to lose fewer cards on tour, and negotiate which card they get to place their badge on in order to get priority pick of the spoils. In the end, the tour manager gets the final say, and any band members who don't agree with the deal can pull out, taking back their contribution. Negotiation continues until all participating players are satisfied and the tour is set. If the tour manager finds that after negotiation they still can't go on tour, they must stay home and practice and their turn is over. The spoils produced on tour depend on 2 things: the card value and its placement. The value of a card determines how many cards you get, and its placement determines the type. Cards on fan payout slots produce fan cards. Cards on career payout slots produce career cards. Cards on null slots produce nothing. Spoils are dealt out face up into a single pot to be divided out in the next phase. First, the tour manager takes their pick of 1 card from the spoils. Then, band members take it in turns, choosing spoils. The order in which they pick is determined by which column their badge is in. The player with their badge in the hype column picks first, then chops, then riffs, then gear, and back to hype. Columns without badges can be ignored. For example, this means that if the tour manager has their badge in the hype suit, they will get to pick twice in a row, once because they're tour manager, and once because their badge is in the hype column. And if the tour manager went by themselves, they don't have to share with anybody. If picking up a card means a player has 27 fans or more, they win instantly. Players pick up their badges and the card underneath goes into their hand. All remaining cards are discarded into their corresponding discard piles. Passion cards are put back in the box. Only the tour manager must reduce their hand to 7 cards by some combination of discarding their career cards into the discard pile and banking their fan cards face up in front of them. They'll still count towards their score, but they can't be used on tour. The other players do not have to reduce their hands. The tour manager's turn is now over, and it's on to the next player. So, to recap, on your turn, you can either stay home and practice and your turn is over, or you can go on tour. Tour comes in 5 parts. The tour manager tries to put together a valid tour using career cards. They have to completely fill at least one row on the tour grid using cards of the right suit, using either cards in their hand or convincing other players to contribute theirs. If players decide to join the tour, they also negotiate a card to put their badge on. Badges do 2 things: determine the picking order of the spoils and mark the card that a player will get back after the tour. The placement and value of the career cards used on the tour determine the amount and the type of spoils the tour produces. Cards on fan slots produce fan cards, cards on career slots produce career cards. How many is determined by the card's values. The spoils are dealt out face up on the table in one pot. Tour manager gets first pick, then band members take turns picking from the spoils, with the picking order determined by the suit in which the badges were placed. Band members get to take back one card that was marked with their badge in the first phase. The rest of the cards used on the tour are discarded. Only the tour manager reduces their hand to 7 cards by discarding career cards or banking fan cards. This is the end of the tour manager's turn, and now it's on to the next player. And that's how to play Battle of the Bands. For more detailed and up-to-date rules, check battleofthebandscardgame.com. Thank you for playing.